Hi everyone, Mocha Gypsy here. Today I want to talk about something most people never realize, the energetic curse left behind by narcissistic abuse. Now, when people talk about narcissistic abuse, they usually focus on the emotional scars, the gaslighting, the invalidation, the manipulation. But as someone who's lived through it, and as a psychic and magic practitioner, I've seen that damage goes much deeper. When someone intentionally tries to crush your spirit, whether it's a parent, a lover, or even a so-called friend, that darkness doesn't just disappear when you walk away. It attaches, it lingers, it becomes a kind of spiritual residue, a curse that blocks your life in every direction: love, money, health, and even your spiritual connection. And if you were the scapegoat in your family, you carry the heaviest burden of all. I know this firsthand. I was the scapegoat in my own family, and for years I lived under the weight of that energy. At one point, I was stuck in Wyoming. Everything in my life felt frozen. I was battling the court system, living in constant fear and vulnerability. And no matter what I did, there were always blockages, setbacks, and people trying to control or silence me. It felt like every effort I made was swallowed by darkness, and that's when I finally understood. This wasn't just emotional pain. It was the accumulation of energy of every person who had intentionally hurt me. It was a curse. So I decided to face it. I sat down and I made a list of every abuser, every manipulator, every person who had projected their darkness onto me, and I began my own series of purification rituals. That's how the Darkness of Abusers Purification Ritual was born. It's a powerful magical process guided by the Seraphim angel Sharphiel, whose divine fire burns through abuse, cords, and darkness at the root. When I did this work for myself, my entire life turned around. The fear lifted, the stagnation broke, and I finally stepped into a new reality. Today, I live abroad with my daughter in peace, in freedom, surrounded by light instead of blockages. I reclaimed my life. I became my own angel of deliverance. And I've watched the same kind of transformation happen for others who've gone through this purification. Their lives shift. Their luck returns. Their spirit feels light again, and everything begins to flow. Now, I want you to understand something. You can do your own rituals. You can write the names, light the candles, say your prayers, and perform your cleansings. And for some people, that would help. But when you want to break the curse completely, when you're ready to pull it out by the roots, that's where my work comes in. When I do this ritual, I'm not just working with my personal energy. I'm calling on the divine fire of Sharphiel, the most powerful of God's angels in existence. This isn't surface cleansing, it's angelic purification, and that's why it works. If you felt cursed by your abusers, if you sense their shadow still hovering over your love life, your finances, your peace, it's time to lift it. And if you feel ready to experience this purification for yourself, you'll also find the link in the description to begin the full Darkness of Abusers Purification Ritual. Or, if you would like to only get a taste of what this magic can do, you can start with a single curse and negative energy removal ritual for one toxic person who you believe is casting a dark shadow over your life. Whatever you choose, please don't keep carrying their energy any longer. You deserve freedom. You deserve peace. You deserve to live in your divine light. I'm Mocha Gypsy, and I pray that the divine fire of Sharphiel guides you back to your true power. Thank you for watching and be blessed.